What is up? What is up, guys? A little bit lower energy today. Today's Monday. By the time this is released, it'll be Tuesday. But um, yeah, guys, there's. I don't even know what to talk about today. um, but the biggest thing that I kind of have to work out in my head on these days that life is tough, life is tiring. I mean, this weekend was great. This weekend was awesome. There was some bucket list stuff that I was able to do, and I was able to fly out to LA and meet with some friends and like meet one of my idols. But I don't know what happened. These last this last day has just been rough. Waking up on Monday and like having to get back to work, having to, which I always try not to say that I have to go to work. I get to go to work. I still love what I do. I still love the person I'm becoming and everything along those lines. But um, I don't know. Today I just woke up and it's just not my day. But the thing is like you're not defined by what you do when life is easy. You're defined what you do, or you are defined by what you do when life is super hard. Those hard days where you don't feel like getting out of bed, the bills are due, people are nagging you, whatever the situation. Like, I don't know. I wake up at 6 in the morning Mondays, and you get text after text about clients needing this and whatever. Like, and it's fine. Like, that's part of the job. I totally get it, but it's just I think at times it really ends up getting to you where it's like sometimes you just want, I mean, for me sometimes I just want a day off, honestly. Like I just want a day to not think about work and all the stuff, because like the weight of entrepreneurship is a lot. It's a lot more than most people understand or could ever bear. And it's not for everyone. That's definitely for sure. Um, but yeah, I think for me, one of the things that I have to remind myself of is like how lucky I am to have this life, even on those days where it feels like such a burden and like I just don't feel like I'm on. So the best thing that or the thing that I try to do is just do my best to get back on, whatever that means. Waking up early, getting cardio in, the sauna, cold plunge, like all of that stuff that helps you get back to that spot of like gratitude and like energy and feeling positive throughout the day. But like it's just the reality is like you can't show up every single day and be happy and happy go lucky and just not let anything phase you, because that's just not the reality of life. But with that being said, you can still show up, right? And that's what, like, this podcast, I'm recording this podcast 3 hours after I normally would, because I have my time set to 9 a.m. So I'm 2.5 hours. But I have my like, this podcast is set at 9 a.m. Monday and Wednesdays. This morning I honestly just didn't get here in time. Like, I've had check-in calls this morning, back and forth with clients, like all kinds of stuff, and like honestly, like I just haven't felt my best. But um, at those times when you don't feel your best that like you just have to show up and push through. And ironically, what happens is like as you show up and as you push through those hard times, the good times will start to come more and more. And this is one thing like I can reference how, like, I always tell my clients, the way that I started lifting was not by going in and having the best workout every day. Like, people think that you just show up and you're super motivated and have the best workout every single day, but that's not it, guys. Like, the reality of it was like when I started working out, I either wasn't eating or eating like crap, or I was super stressed and taking way too much caffeine, right? Anxiety and like all that stuff, because I was a college kid who was just trying to get by. It was like my freshman year of college. So I was like, I was just trying to hold on. But, anyways, what I did was Um, I ended up moving in with a bunch of roommates that they were all into the gym and stuff, and I was the smallest one of all of them. And I essentially was just like, okay, well, I want to go to the gym. I want to make this a daily part of my routine, no matter what. Because honestly, I just wanted to get big. Like I just wanted to have muscle and, be strong and stuff. But um, what I did was I just told myself that I'm going to show up 5 days a week, no matter what. Like I didn't care when it was. Like obviously I'd try to get there on the same day, but I didn't care when it was, how long I was there, what I did. Like I literally just tried to show up and do something, right? And there were so many days where I literally show up, hit one set of bench press and left. There were so many days that I showed up, hit one set of squats and left. And I'd get nauseous, I would feel like crap, like I'd have a headache, all the stuff that happens when you first start getting into the gym and you don't have your nutrition on the point, because I definitely didn't when I was in college. Um, but the biggest thing was establishing the routine of showing up, right? Because once you establish the routine of showing up, things get a whole lot easier. And once you make things a non-negotiable in your head, then it's so much easier over time. Like, yeah, there are times when it's like, oh man, this sucks. I have to get up and do this, right? But um, with time, it becomes a just such a part of your routine. It's almost like brushing your teeth. Like you wake up and you don't even think about it and you go. And the crazy part is, as you do that for long enough, you are going to start to look forward to it more and more, right? Because you've started to see the results. You've started to reap the benefits of what you're doing, of the work that you're putting in. And eventually it feels like nothing. And eventually you can show up and you can do a full workout and you can do your cardio and do all the stuff and follow your meal plan perfectly. And you still feel like you can take on more. Like it expands your mental, how do you even say that? It expands your mental workload enough that you can, or mental capacity. It expands your mental capacity enough that you can go out and you can do everything that you knew you needed to do and more, because you simply showed up and did it over and over and over. And I like to think of it as like momentum, guys. It's like pushing a car, right? Like the hardest part of getting a car to roll when you're pushing it is getting it to start rolling. That's when you put in the most energy. And then once it's rolling and it's moving and going in the right direction, then you hardly have to put any energy into it at all. You just keep pushing, right? And that's exactly how it is when it comes to the gym. Is you just have to show up and you have to put in that work up front, and with time it's going to get easier and easier. And that's one thing, like that's why Mondays are so hard. Like we take Saturday and Sunday and we completely lose all of our momentum. And that's why Mondays suck so much. But if you can just wrap your head around, like, okay, I'm going to show up no matter what, because, and even though Monday sucks, I know Tuesday is going to be better. I know Wednesday is going to be better. And I'm going to be more and more I'm going to be more and more productive throughout the week as a result of showing up and going through the hard Monday, right? So, yeah, that's ultimately what has happened to me today. Is like I took Wednesday I worked until 9 p.m. I didn't take a chance, or I didn't take some time off to lift. Thursday I ended up driving up to the Phoenix area early, so I didn't lift that day. Um, Friday I ended up flying out to LA, and then I did the shoot with CT Fletcher, which was super dope. Lifted a little bit, but really didn't get a full lift in. Saturday went to the lake with the family, also didn't lift. Saturday, um, or yeah, Saturday went to the lake with family. Sunday didn't lift because that's my rest day where I try to just like tune out. So, um, honestly, guys, that's why like I've lost momentum, and that's why this Monday has been so hard for me. Um, but yeah, the big thing is like you just have to remember, no matter what, like you can always start to build that momentum back, right? And it's going to get easier and easier the longer you stick to your program. So that's one thing that I've really been trying to focus on today, and just really bust that out, because right now is an uphill. I'm just getting the car start, or just pushing the car right now. So it's a lot, and it's tiring, and I'm exhausted. I don't know. I also haven't been sleeping. I have a million excuses, but at the end of the day, I'm still here. So I just want to make sure that I show up for my podcast, keep that consistent, show up for my clients, show up for myself, Shroom Brew. Like, we have so much stuff that I have to do, or not that I have to do, that I get to do every single day. But it's just that I have to build the momentum first, or else these things aren't going to get done. And my life is 100% a result of that. Like, if you look at, I mean, my last few days, I literally flew out to LA and lifted with CT Fletcher, he's like one of my biggest idols. He's like one of the reasons why I got into fitness, bodybuilding, and all this stuff. Which is a whole nother story. I'll have to go into that another day. Um, but yeah, like, this is all a result of showing up and building yeah, showing up and building the momentum over time of, like, this dream, right? There have definitely been times that I haven't wanted to show up to the gym. There have definitely been times that I've wanted to quit my business and everything. Like, there have definitely been times when I've wanted to just burn everything down, and I haven't. Like, I still showed up, right? And at the end of the day, you start to look back and you realize, like, those are the things that make you. The things that make you, or how do I even say this? This is going to be a good quote, so I want to, like, thoroughly think this through. The things that define you, no. Uh, I think it's what I said earlier. It's, you're not defined by what you do when everything's going your way. You are defined by what you do when it feels like the world is against you, right? So, with that being said, I have felt that way for years and years and years. There's been a lot of my life that I've felt like things could never work for me. I could never get there. I could never achieve this dream. I'm wasting my time. I'm this and I'm that. Like, I'm investing money and time and effort into something that's never going to pay off. But I continued to show up and I continued to build momentum, right? Whereas everybody else that I know quit. I stayed and I built that momentum, and I kept moving forward regardless of how bad it hurt, or how broke I was, or how much doubt I was facing. I continued to show up, and that's the only difference between someone like me and everyone else. And that's what I pride myself on, honestly. Like, I don't pride myself on being the greatest bodybuilder in the world. I don't pride myself on being the greatest fitness coach in the world, influencer, whatever the thing, like, whatever category you put me in. Like, I don't pride myself on that. I pride myself on showing up regardless of the circumstances. Like, you can put me through anything and I will show up and I will do my best. And the crazy part is, like, over a long period of time, those are the people who win. And if I win, it's a byproduct of that, right? It's not that I came in and I just stomped everyone and got first place and I'm the greatest. No, it's that I fought through all of the hard stuff over time, and I got better and better as a result of that. And because of that, I may win. Because of that, I'm thrown those bones. I catch the breaks. I get quote unquote lucky. People call me lucky all the time. They say that, they say I have all these advantages. They say, like, all this BS that they have no idea what they're talking about. But the reality, guys, is that, like, where you, or where, not you guys, if you're listening to this, not you guys are doing great. But where everybody else quit and gave up and sold out on their dreams, I doubled down and I kept going. And that's the only difference. Like, that's literally it. So, um, so yeah, if there's one thing I can say, it's like, just focus on building that momentum. And when life sucks and it hits you and whatever happens, like, you go through a breakup, or your dog dies, or you have a family member die, or whatever the thing is, like, you just have to sit back and be like, okay, these are the circumstances and it sucks and it's hard and like I want to quit. Naturally, that's what I would do. But I'm going to keep building momentum regardless of what that looks like, right? Like even if that's one foot in front of the other, even that if that's showing up to the gym, or doing your cardio or getting one healthy meal in. Like as long as you're moving forward in some aspect, then you are building momentum. And ultimately what's going to happen is you'll meet the people who see that, right? And then they're going to work with you and they're going to help you continue that momentum. And that's where like your passions begin to overlap, right? And that's where you're able to like fully feed that passion, that like desire that you have. And that's when things start to feel easy, is when you have a support system around it. But you have to bet on yourself and you have to show up and like do the daily monotonous tasks that bring you closer to your goal in order to find the right people who will support that through the hard times. Um, Even now, guys, I have a great support system now. The people I'm around believe in me. They know who I am and what I want to do in this life, and they know that like what I'm capable of. But that came as a result of 5, 6 years of doing this completely alone. And not only was I alone, but like my parents doubted me. My girlfriends my girlfriends doubted me. My brothers and like so many people have doubted me throughout this journey. Like I've had haters, I've had all the stuff. Like so many people have doubted me. But um and to be honest, like I've doubted myself a lot. But the reality is like I just kept moving forward, even if it was alone, even if I felt anxiety or scared or doubt or whatever the thing is, I just kept moving forward until eventually I started to find the people who were like, oh no, you have something here, and now I'm surrounded by them, and it makes it so much easier to go through these hard times, but like there still are hard times. Like there's never a time when it's just easy and you can just coast. But there definitely are times when you have people that will remind you who you are, and that helps a ton in those times when you're down. So, anyways, guys, um, if you guys are struggling with motivation, by the time this is released, it's going to be Tuesday, but you can always come back and watch this. But um, if you guys are struggling with motivation, I think the best thing that you can possibly do is just think about it as not mo- not motivation, but momentum, right? Just understand that it's going to suck for a little bit. Like, but that's okay because the fact that it sucks like that is going to weed out like 90% of people because they're going to quit. So if you can just show up for a day, 2 days, 3 days, eventually you're going to gain so much momentum that nothing's going to be able to stop you. So you just have to focus on getting that car going, right? And that takes pushing it from a stop to moving, and that's honestly the most energy it's going to take. So you just have to push and like make things happen a little bit in the beginning. And after that, once the momentum's built, it's going to become a whole lot easier. And you just have to realize that and have faith in that, because that's what makes things possible. Like that's what makes the big dreams possible. And so, um, yeah, that's a good Monday motivation. I feel much better after talking about this. Hopefully, you guys feel better after listening to it. I'm still super tired, low energy. My back's been hurting. I haven't been sleeping good, but it is what it is. It's fine. I'm going to continue to show up and I'm going to continue to do me and make these podcasts, show up for my clients, be the best version of myself, even if I don't feel my best. Um, because I understand that when Wednesday's podcast, or the one that I release on Thursday, will be much better because I'm going to be feeling better because I will have the momentum rebuilt. So, anyways, guys, happy Monday or Tuesday. Guys, go kill it. Go build momentum in your lives and just realize that it is definitely a process. Nothing worthwhile comes easy. So Go out and build that momentum in your daily life. Do not give up. Don't quit. Just understand it's going to suck a little bit, but push through it. You've got this. Let's go.